Chapter 1. Coffee. You are listening at FameTV.info. Underscore 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 Zhang Si lifted his hand and swiped his phone screen. To his surprise, the current displayed time was 11:35. When he first sat down, it was 10:40. The beautiful girl with expertly applied makeup and delicate curly hair in front of him had been scolding him for at least 1 hour. The other party didn't seem like they were going to stop anytime soon. The cup of latte in front of her was completely cool now. Zhang Si wondered how she can talk for so long without having a drink. Is she not thirsty? Although he is listening, Zhang Si is really bored, and his focus is elsewhere. Scanning the area with his eyes, he notices a mix of traditional elements with contemporary European styles, giving the cafe a sleek yet comfortable atmosphere. In particular, the decorative, dark green star lights around the room are quite interesting. The table and chair positions are arranged perfectly to maximize the space inside the cafe. None of the tables were empty. Hey, are you listening? The girl's high voice abruptly pulled back Zhang Si's attention. Yeah, I heard. Zhang Si adjusted his body and quickly refocused his eyes back to the girl. While talking, the girl's long delicate fingers with painted nails flew in front of him like a colorful butterfly, as if to conduct a passionate sonata, but unfortunately, this sonata is entering a boring repetitive major. She continues to complain. How many times have you taken the initiative to ask me out since returning to China? I can count them on one hand. 3. Only 3 times. 1 time, you overslept, and the other 2 times added together are not even a day. I really don't understand why you are so busy all the time. Before, while abroad, I know you were very busy studying architecture. I have endured the time spent at home while we spent apart, but now you have graduated and returned to China. You haven't found a job yet. What are you doing at home all day? Looking for a job, 24 hours a day. Don't you have time to go out and eat with me? I called you the day before yesterday to ask you out to a movie. You promised me, but we ended up not going. Why? You said your portfolio wasn't finished, but then I saw you chatting with your friends online. You have time for friends but not me. Zhang Si argued. He took a break from doing his homework and checked his social media page for updates. It wasn't for more than 5 minutes. Well, maybe it was more like 15 minutes. You have time to chat with your friends online, but you don't have time to watch a movie with me. Zhang Si wanted to say yes, but he was afraid such a remark would evoke the girl's fury and tear him to pieces, so he endured and did not answer. Even so, it did not stop his innermost feelings. Accompanying you to watch a movie means I must take a shower, wash my hair and clean up, otherwise you criticize me. If I'm not wearing the right clothes, you scold me. If I say anything other than like towards the film, you get angry at me. Then, when the movie is over, I must accompany you home, which is 45 minutes each direction, let alone my own commute. So with all time spent, of course, it's easier to chat online with friends. Frowning again, the girl suddenly thought, didn't you already graduate? What else do you have to do? As I explained already, the designs I made while studying weren't enough, so I need to take this time to make more drawings. Why didn't you do it while you were studying? Did you not have time? At that time, there were other things to worry about. The architecture department was not only about designing, but also about architectural structure and environment as well as architectural history. There were also various software programs I has to learn. Busy playing games. Or busy chatting online. Zhang Si, why don't you take care of yourself when you go out? Your hair is so messy, and you have dark circles under your eyes. What time did you get to sleep last night? You used to never have acne on your face. But look at you. You have 2 spots on your forehead. I thought everyone who studies architecture is very clean. Cut. When I first met you, you were so well dressed and fashionable, I wanted to impress you at that time. But look at what you have become. No one believes that the slob in front of me is learning architecture. Zhang Si can't help but say. You have not seen the state of the department members right before our projects are due. It's not uncommon for people to stop washing their hair or bathe for a month. The girl showed a shocked and disgusted expression, but in less than 2 seconds, she complained. But you have graduated now, and aren't working, so why are you still acting like that? Ah. I said I was doing my, don't keep talking about your portfolio. What about the days when you first returned to China? I invited you out, but you are always with that guy named Fu Xinhui. You are now renting a house and living together. You go out with him and he even cooks meals for you. When his girlfriend mentioned this, Zhang Si was anxious. Can you not think about it? I am really just friends with him. Ha! The girl sneered. I haven't said anything and yet you are so anxious to argue. Do you know that there is a word called, to cover the glory? I have long heard that there are many gay people learning design. Zhang Si is a little annoyed. You think your boyfriend is gay? I just want you to keep your distance from him. Please, I've been with him for 4 years, and if he's gay I'd have noticed it by now. Besides, he used to have a girlfriend. As far as his relationship with Fu Xinhui goes, Zhang Si does not know how many times he has had to explain this her. She is doubtful and always feels like he is lying to her. What are you so angry about? I just mentioned Fu Xinhui. Do you have something to hide? He was a straight man who was repeatedly suspected by his girlfriend to be gay. How could it still be so difficult for her to understand? Zhang Si was depressed. If you wanted to take me out today just to go through these old accounts, I really do not have time for you. That I did not sleep until 4 in the morning today, and you woke me up at 9, so now I'm tired to death. Instead of being calm, the girl grew more agitated. She raised her voice and said, do you think I want to rehash the same grievances? Every time I see you, you look dead. I have been waiting for you at home for 2 years, but when you came back, you only took the initiative to contact me a few times. Zhang Si was so angry that his face was turning blue. Before returning to China every year, he would buy many gifts for his girlfriend. He could see the delight in her eyes when she happily received them, but he didn't know what has happened in the past 2 months. As time passed, her temper was getting worse and worse. She has become a different person. The girl did not wait for Zhang Si to answer. Her barrage of words didn't seem like they were going to end anytime soon, until her statement, if you are going to act like this then don't bother relying on me. Do you know how disappointed I am with you now? Before Zhang Si even knew what was happening, he impulsively said, since you are so disappointed with me, then let's break up. This is his first time he took the initiative to break up. After the angry words from both parties subsided, they instantly fell into a strange silence. Zhang Si regrets it a little, but he really can't stand it anymore. At least today, he doesn't want to be the good guy anymore. Looking at each other in silence, the girl's face turned blue and white. She was startled. With the beginning of tears forming in her red eyes, she suddenly stood up. She grabbed the cup in a hurry with a shaking hand, then aimed for Zhang Si. Splash! Just as he was thankful for his agility, in the next second a noise came from behind. Zhang Si turned his head to see the young man behind him. Long legs. Well-proportioned face. Perfect build. One word describes his features. Handsome, dressed in plain white t-shirt and simple slacks with a large album under his arm, he looked like an approachable person someplace between a strict white-collar worker and a laid-back scholar. Of course, if you ignore the large coffee stain from his waist to his hem. His other hand was in the process of pushing back his seat. Apparently, he was preparing to leave, but because of Zhang Si's dodging, he was covered in coffee instead. Now, the unabsorbed coffee is continuing down his pant leg, trickling onto his clean vintage shoes and looking miserable. Yes, sorry, Zhang Si hurriedly apologized. The man held up an arm halfway and stared at him, furrowing his brows with dislike. With such a simple facial action, a cold shiver ran down Zhang Xi's back. Under the impulsiveness of the girl, her wrath has come on to others. It is extremely embarrassing, but she is still mad, and does not want to apologize to the third person. Hearing Zhang Xi's excuses, she had a very legitimate reason for throwing the coffee, so she picked up her bag and stomped away angrily. She left the mess for her former boyfriend to clean up. Zhang Xi looked at the handsome guy with wide eyes. What should I do with this situation? Apologize. Offer money. Help him wash his clothes. Or do I offer a business card and leave it to a phone call to settle the problem later? Zhang Xi doesn't want to get more involved than he already is. He would rather spend more money right now to solve the issue immediately. Based on how the man is dressed, it shouldn't cost too much as he isn't wearing designer clothes. This thing. Zhang Xi took a minute to look around for a paper towel to offer and wipe up the mess. However, before he finished, in a low tone that revealed a hint of indifference and alienation, the man interrupted. Forget it. Forget it. He was splashed with a cup of coffee instead of a glass of mineral water, but the other party did not give Zhang Xi much time to think. After finishing the two words, he turned and left. Just as he approached the door, he turned his head and looked back at Zhang Xi's deflated figure. Zhang Xi, stunned in place, suddenly remembered the verbal lashing he received. His girlfriend was talking for over an hour with him. How long was the man sitting behind him for, and how much did he overhear, with Zhang Xi's sloppy appearance and his girlfriend thinking he is gay? No wonder he turned tail and left in a hurry. Oh, this is fucking embarrassing. Upset at himself, he sighed. I'm so stupid. Taking a deep breath, he reassured himself repeatedly. The city is so big, he can't possibly bump into the handsome man again. In a few days the incident will be forgotten. Just let it go. After returning home, Zhang Xi turned on the air conditioning and flopped on his bed, giving him a moment respite from the mental and physical exhaustion the breakup caused. Upon Zhang Xi returned to China, he and his two friends decided to share a 3-bedroom apartment located in the Qing part of town, which is one of the most prosperous locations in the city. The rent is naturally not low, but with the three of them living together the rent is 4,000 each due monthly. When Zhang Xi boasted in front of his friends, they really didn't give him a penny. He said that he would make money himself after graduating. He didn't want to burden his family. But even so, the rent for the first 3 months was paid due to the leftover money from studying that his family gave him. The currency that wasn't spent was all converted into RMB for his expenses. Now almost 2 months have passed, and he didn't have a job. Since another month's rent is due soon, he will likely only be able to eat dirt. After a long sigh, Zhang Xi got up from the bed to turn on his computer. He wanted to see if anyone responded to the resumes he sent to various architectural firms, but his mailbox was empty. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.